How's it going, everybody? The Seer here, and today we have the full kit reveal for the Absolute A-Force team. Well, we have 4 of the members. The 5th member is actually going to be over on Benny Westside's channel. In the description below, I am going to have a link to his video, so make sure you check that out when you're done with this one. That way you can have full context of how this kit and team is actually going to be working together. Now, I haven't really seen the full kit on this team yet. I was kind of skimmed through it, then decided to do more of a raw reaction take on it. It looks like more people kind of appreciate that aspect of it, where we kind of experience this together. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, right off the bat, you do see that Corey from What If Season 2 is actually on here. She was a fantastic character. She's a new original character that Marvel created for the What If TV show. Make sure to check that episode out. It is so good. But let's go ahead and see what this team can actually deliver. So the key to a good sequel is to give the fans what they love about the original, crank up the action by 11, and make sure the battles are unforgettable. Check, check, and check with the upcoming Absolute A-Force team. Absolute A-Force is not only an Alliance War specialist, they're set to be the next big thing in war, capable of shutting down any team not employing the services of Odin or Mephisto. That's right, put Apocalypse and Super Skrull on alert, because the hunters are now the hunted. So Apocalypse has been on offense for a pretty long time now. Super Skrull, he's still going on defense. Looks like we might be able to pull him off of defense, use him on offense from now on. Now, something I do want to kind of discuss with you is this is another Alliance War team. We've already had the Astral team, to where they have their Awaken abilities that make them very, very good in Alliance War. One of the top teams. The Undying team is like an S tier team, depending what 5th character you add with them. It actually can take out a lot of teams. I've been finding myself taking out Mephisto based teams with the Undying team. So this is the 3rd Alliance War team that we've had into the game now. It looks like what they're doing is they're pushing out these older meta Alliance War teams and kind of making way for these new stat ones. Basically, since Ares came into the game, we're getting those new stats, and they're just kind of making it to where the old meta is outdated, and they're kind of refreshing Alliance War with these new teams. That's what it feels like to me. So when I keep saying, like, this is the best team in the game, or this is the god tier team in Alliance War, I wasn't exaggerating, and it looks like this is going to be on that level. So it looks like the rankings is going to end up being Undying as the S tier team. We have the Astral, which is like right up there. Then it's probably going to be this team, then Mercs for Money. That's how I'm seeing this. But again, I haven't seen this full kit and team yet. This may actually jump above the Astral team. I'm not sure. The fact that this team doesn't have any legendary, mythic, or epic characters that it says right here, it's kind of scrolling through this. This looks like it's going to be the most accessible Alliance War team, because Mercs for Money and Astral both have a legendary attached to it. The Undying is full of epic characters, so this might be like the new free-to-play team for new players coming in that's able to kind of get them team up and going, which I actually don't hate. That's actually pretty cool. Let's go ahead and continue this vlog. This War Supreme team is composed of new, variant, and veteran faces. Joining the fight are newbies Ms. Marvel Classic. That's who Benny Westside is going to be doing the kit reveal with. So, like I said, when you're done with this, go over to his channel, check it out. We're going to have Corey, who is that What If Season 2 character. Love that character. She was so cool. Medusa. We've been looking for Medusa to come into the game so we can have that Inhumans royal family, maybe team coming into the game. So we have her. We have Black Bolt. Hopefully, we can start getting that in the future, along with updated Wasp and Ironheart. These are 2 very old characters that people pretty much have at the bottom of the roster. So it looks like everybody's going to be building these 2 teams up from scratch, is how I'm kind of seeing this. While there are no legendary, mythic, or epic characters, the Absolute A-Force, that doesn't stop them from being so strong. They're practically a force of nature. All right, that's kind of cringe, but I kind of like it. All right, let's keep going. Corey, so one the Tesseract fell through space and crashed into a lake in pre-colonial North America. Its waters were transformed into a gateway to the stars. Tori, a Mohawk woman who was traversing the area, fell into the mystical lake and found herself transported to Skyworld, the cosmic home of her long-lost ancestors with superhuman abilities. Emboldened with newfound powers of strength, flight, and energy manipulation, she embraced her destiny as a protector for her people and the land. Tori is a controller for Absolute A-Force, who specializes in speeding around the battlefield, flipping effects, and incapacitating enemies who have exposed. Her basic, special, and passive can all apply exposed. That's pretty crazy, so just the ultimate can't do that. But her basic is especially powerful. If her target doesn't have positive effects, she applies exposed. And if the target already has exposed, she applies blind. That's pretty cool and kind of unique, actually. This is in addition to hitting the target for drain and piercing. When enemies have exposed, Tori's passive sets up enemies for the rest of her team by lowering their revive chance by 100%. That is going to take out a lot of big teams. Additionally, in war, exposed prevents enemies from filling speed bar for themselves or allies besides normal means. Makes it so enemies can't gain stealth or charge, can't barrier anyone, and have their assist chance lowered by 100%. So, based on this description, it looks like she single-handedly can take out mercs for money, basically shutting down the assist chance that Old Man Logan gives, the revives that the Deadpool, Pandapool, and Old Man Logan have. Even though mercs might really use it on defense, she basically can shut them down on her own. It looks like she might be a really good plug-and-play character just based off that, which I actually like just because of how this character was in the TV show. So looks like they really made her like ramped up like that. So Corey's going to be a hero, cosmic, mystic controller, and Absolute A-Force. Now the Absolute A-Force tag right here, it doesn't say A-Force. However, when they have these overarching tags like this, like Avengers, New Avengers, Young Avengers, that's all in the Avengers tag. So the regular A-Force team should be able to work with this for anything that does a general call out. So those like original A-Force characters, we might be able to use them while we start getting more of the Absolute A-Force and start plugging these characters in. So her basic, or her speed is 122. So her basic is Sky Blast. It's going to attack primary target for 200% piercing, 50% drain, 5% of the character's max health. If the primary target is a minion, attack for 30% of the target's max health instead. Flip 2 positive effects into negative effects on the primary target. In war, so that's going to be the war call out here, flip all positive effects into negative effects instead. So it goes from 2 to all. If the primary target has exposed, apply blind. If the primary target has no positive effects, apply exposed. Apply +1 charged up to a maximum of 3 to the chargeable Absolute A-Force ally with the most health. We are going to need to see when we get the Ms. Marvel Classic if she's going to be a chargeable Absolute. Otherwise, we'll go through this and see if the second character or any of the reworked characters are going to be that chargeable Absolute A-Force. Prolong the duration of 1 positive effect on this character by +1 to a maximum of 2. When forced to attack an ally, this character deals less damage, does not flip positive effects, does not apply any negative effects, and does not apply expose to Absolute A-Force characters. So she's really going to protect the team to not really hurt them if she gets like a mind control attack. It looks like she might be good as a plug and play going into the Null boss fight in Battle World, just based off the basic here. So this cannot be blocked. Now for the isolate counter, it looks like it's the exact same. So 50% drain, the damage is going to be lower, which is fine. Plus 5% of the max health. So she is looking like a striker to me. So she doesn't have this line of text. So the first hit cannot be blocked. The ISO hit can be blocked. So that's pretty important to know. Special, Step of the Wind. Energy cost is 1 force. This is going to go off turn 3 for her. Clear all barrier from all enemies. Attack all enemies for 250% piercing and 30% drain. That could be interesting for a raider hit. Get a lot of vulnerables out on the field. on turn 3, but again, that's going to be turn 3 when this goes off. Unless there's going to be characters that give ability energy to the team. This attack deals double damage to enemies that have Safeguard, so about 500% piercing if they have Safeguard. Flip 5 positive effects into negative effects on all enemies. Good thing she doesn't have a decay hit on this thing. Apply offense down for 2 turns, heal block for 2 turns, 2 bleed for 1 turn to all enemies. If an enemy does not have any positive effects, apply trauma for 2 turns to that character. That's pretty nasty. Apply expose to all support enemies. That could be somebody like Apocalypse. Redistribute total health evenly between self and all absolute A-Force allies. In war, so this is the only war call out for the special. It cannot be blocked, dodged, or counterattacked. The ultimate ancient power to 6. So this is going to end up going off turn 4. So it's going to be a couple basics, special, then ultimate. Ancient power, attack primary and adjacent targets for 500% piercing. Apply 2 defense downs for 2 turns. Heal block for 2 turns. Disrupted for 2 turns. And trauma for 2 turns. So she has 2 moves that throw trauma out there. Interesting. This attack deals double damage to enemies that have Safeguard. So 1000% piercing if they have Safeguard. Rip. Fill speed bar by 100%. In war, this attack is unavoidable, cannot be blocked or counterattacked. So this move here, 100% speed bar fill outside of Alliance War. That's just too, like, she has barely any war callouts. Alright, passive. New World Protector. On spawn, apply after all other characters on spawn of effects. Fill speed bar for herself by 200%. So she's basically going to go 2 basic hits. Then when she gets her actual turn, then she'll be able to do the special. Interesting. And then after she does a special, she'll be able to do the ultimate, and that again is going to fill the speed bar by 100%. She is ridiculous. Okay. Attack the enemy controller with the highest focus for 350% piercing and apply exposed. So on spawn, the enemy's going to get all of their on spawn effects. She's going to fill her speed bar by 200%. Attack the enemy controller with the highest focus, which could be like Apocalypse, for instance, which is why they mentioned him. It's going to do the piercing damage and get exposed on him. While this character's health is above 50%, this character cannot gain slow. The focus and damage of this character can only be reduced by offense down. Interesting. Enemies with exposed. In war, so here's the war portion of the passive. If this character has 4 or more absolute A-Force allies, cannot fill speed bar for themselves or allies. That'd be like Super Scroll getting all that turn meter. Old Man Logan getting his turn meter. That's a lot of characters actually for this portion. In war, cannot gain stealth or charge. So that'd be like a Black Knight character for the charge. Does not prevent prolonging the duration of effects already on the target. Cannot barrier themselves or their allies. So again, out of time with Cosmic Ghost Rider, given that barrier out there. In war, have their assist chance lowered by 100%. So that'd be like Old Man Logan if he was on defense. Had their revive chances lowered by 100%. Again, mercs for money. They have Cannibal, Deadpool, Old Man Logan that keep coming back to life, for instance. So she's very powerful. So the next character is going to be Medusa. Medusa was born into the royal family of the Inhumans, and she discovered her incredible powers after exposure to the Terrigen Mist. That's kind of how all of the Inhumans get their powers anyways. Which gifted her with prehensile hair. Prehensile, yeah. She could control with precision and strength. As queen and wife to Black Bolt, she became a fierce and wise leader, using her unique abilities to protect her people and maintain order within Attilan. I cannot speak today. I apologize. Let's keep going. The Queen of Attilan rules the battlefield as a damage-dealing brawler. All of Medusa's attacks hit for piercing damage, while her special and ultimates deny a dead enemy of being revived on their own. Medusa's passive makes her a particularly fearsome ruler, preventing enemies from spawning with evade or death proof, and in war causes enemies to deal less damage and can't spawn with defense up or speed up either. She also specifically targets protectors and blasters in wars. That'd be like a Mephisto who's a protector. Blaster would be like an Odin. Maybe we could find like a slot in or figure out a way to beat some of those teams in Alliance War. We'll see. It denies them charge on spawn, and protectors are further supplicated when they can't spawn with safeguard. So that would be like right here. This would be like a gladiator, stopping him from spawning in with safeguard. Then Corey can flip those positive effects and just get a really fast kill on the annihilators. That's interesting. So Medusa's going to be a hero global. Shouldn't that be cosmic? I wonder if this is supposed to be cosmic and not global, because Black Bolt's a global or a cosmic character. She should be cosmic. I'm curious about this. But she's a bio brawler, absolute A-Force, and Inhuman. So she does have the Inhuman tag. That's interesting. She has a speed of 120. Her basic is split ends. Oh, please make all of her abilities like hair jokes. That would be amazing. Attack primary target for 160% piercing. Repeat this attack once. When forced to attack an ally, this character deals less damage to absolute A-Force characters. So this is realistically 320% piercing, because it's going to be doing a repeat attack. And then you could do a striker and then make it a 560% piercing. So that is something to consider. But we're already looking at Corey as being that striker on the team. So let's keep going. Her special is bob and weave. Yes. Bring on the hair jokes. Energy cost 4/4. Attack primary target for 600% piercing. Gain 60% crit chance for this attack. If Black Bolt is an ally, or if this character has 3 or more absolute A-Force allies, this attack gains plus 60% crit damage for this attack. So I'm looking at Raider for her, because that would get her about a 100% crit chance and about 100% extra crit damage. So critting on a 600% is pretty massive damage. Characters killed by this attack cannot be revived. This attack ignores defense up and cannot be blocked or dodged. The ultimate, conditioned for battle. Yes, hair jokes for days. Energy cost 3/5. This is going to go off turn 2. Attack the primary and adjacent targets for 400% piercing. Gain plus 60% crit chance for this attack, plus 20% additional damage per positive and negative effect on the primary target. If Black Bolt is an ally, or if this character has 3 or more absolute A-Force allies, this attack gains plus 60% crit damage. I am definitely looking at Raider for her, because again, this would be like 100% crit damage on a 400% piercing, and a lot of extra damage if you go at somebody with a lot of positive or negative effects, which again, Corey's going to be flipping those positive effects into negative effects just for some massive damage. So that's pretty cool. Characters killed by this attack cannot be revived. This attack ignores defense up also, and it cannot be blocked or dodged. So if she doesn't have a blind on her, this is just going to delete somebody if it's going through defense up as well. And that high like Raider hit is what I'm looking at. Passive, Inhuman's Queen. I guess they had to stop with the hair jokes. I don't know, they could have put something else here, like Queen's buns, like Princess Leia buns or something. I don't know. But oh well. We can't have everything that we want. Enemies cannot spawn with evade or death proof. In war, enemies cannot spawn with defense up or speed up. Protector and blaster enemies cannot spawn with charged. Protector enemies cannot spawn with safeguard. Lower damage for all enemies by 20%, so it's going to lower the damage coming in. Lower the resistance for all enemies by 80%. Gain 10% speed, and absolute A-Force allies gain 10% speed. So she is a 120 speed, so I would put her at about 132. It was 122 speed for 122 here. So that's another about 134 speed for Corey. So they're not terrible. There's definitely faster characters, like Night Stalkers because of Man Thing. But yeah, let's see what else we have. So Wasp and Ironheart updates. Both characters received the Absolute A-Force traits in addition to generous stat upgrades to modernize their attacks, but also receiving key updates to their abilities that make them essential to the team. Ironheart hands out defense up to Absolute A-Force, and her ultimate deals bonus damage with her new team. Wasp attacks sting extra hard, but most importantly, her new charge mechanic combined with her increased damage make her a key to countering Old Man Logan. I don't know, I mean, countering Old Man Logan, Corey kind of single-handedly did this. However, this does say the Wasp has a new charged mechanic, and Corey did give like +1 charge, so it could be meant for her. Ironheart updates. Health is plus 538%, damage 272, armor 228, focus 233, and resist 259. She was a very outdated character, so I'm kind of curious where this is going to put them on like the ranking for like maybe a top 10 in health, or maybe it's top 20 in health. We'll have to see when we get the official stats for them. Basic prototype repulsors. So before it just gained assist from Iron Man, now it's going to add in assist to Corey. Now remember, for Corey, if we go all the way back up here, her basic is going to be flipping 2 positive effects into negative effects. In War, it's going to flip everything. So having an assist that's going to be calling in for flipping and doing 5% max damage or max health, that's going to be very, very impactful. Special, deploy flares. Before it did attack, primary, and adjacent, it used to be 180% damage, now it's 320% damage. Apply ability block to the primary target, which that was the same. However, in War, it cannot be dodged. So that's all they're adding in for the special. That's fine. Ultimate is Heartbreaker. The damage went up to 350% damage. If this character has 3 or more Absolute A-Force allies, the attack deals an additional 300% damage to all enemies. So that's going to make it 650% damage. It's going to have 100,000% extra focus for the attack, and it cannot be dodged. So, not terrible. The passive. On spawn, apply defense up for 2 turns to self and all of power, armor, and Absolute A-Force allies. So on spawn, the entire team's going to have defense up. So, that's pretty good. Corey, though, she's going to burn through these 2 turns of defense up because she's going to get that plus 200% speed on her. So she's not really going to have the defense up, but that's fine. Wasp, health stats by 508, damage 314, armor 211, focus 327, resistance 295. Again, she was a very old, outdated character. The last time she got like a rework or buff was when Pilmtech kind of came out as a full team. The special. So it looks like basic is staying the same. I'm not sure what that did. The blasters, though, it goes to bonus attack 3 times. So it's going to do the main hit, then bonus attack for 3 times for 230% damage. It's going to get stun to the primary target. If there's 3 or more A-Force allies, so just flat A-Force, not absolute A-Force. That means we can definitely plug in some of the regular A-Force members. And then it's going to do a reduced speed bar on the primary target by 30%. In War, this attack cannot be blocked or dodged. So a nice turn meter rewind that's going to be everywhere, and you just need the regular A-Force team. That's pretty good. Ultimate, Flight of the Wasp. The damage went up to 380%. In War, if this character has 3 or more absolute A-Force allies, this attack deals an additional 400% damage to all enemies. That's 780% damage to everyone, and it cannot be blocked or dodged in War. That's going to be a massive hit. Passive, Shrink. On spawn, gain charge. When this character is attacked, lose 1 charge. gain an additional plus 10% dodge per charge in war. On spawn, gain 3 charged instead. Gain an additional 25% dodge chance per charge instead. So let's go back up to Corey really quick. It was the special, I believe. Let me see. Where was it? Here it is. So the basic hit. Apply +1 charge to a maximum of 3 to the chargeable absolute A-Force ally with the most health. So in Alliance War, she's going to spawn with the 3 charges, Wasp will. So that's 75%. She's going to get an additional 10% baked into it. And then there's going to be the innate dodge chance. So right off the bat, Wasp is going to have 100% charge. And then she's going to be able to, with that striker hit, apply 2 charge every time Corey goes, making it to where Wasp is going to be very hard to kill. So Wasp is going to be a pain to take out in Alliance War. Photon. We decided to remove Photon's bonus that she was given to A-Force allies and instead bake those bonuses directly into the other A-Force allies. So basically here, so right here, Seer Defender allies gain plus 30% damage and 15% max health. So all of the original A-Force members got their stat bump. So if you weren't using B-Force where you have Photon baked into it, then they just got like a nice buff for you guys. Now, something that I'm looking at doing, going through those kits, we don't know Ms. Marvel Classics kit until we look at what Benny has for his exclusive reveal. I could see Jessica Jones being added onto the team because her ultimate's going to be able to clear positive effects. She has a broad A-Force call out for negative effects that's going to speed her up. The special is going to give a cleanse and give ability energy to the team. So I can see Jessica Jones being a stand-in member. Nico, I can see standing in as well because she's going to be able to do the ultimate on turn 1 and get trauma out there, flip those positive effects, and just put trauma on like 3 characters. She could be a very interesting one that's going to be a stand-in member until we start getting more of the absolute A-Force. We can also use Black Bolt in here just to get that little bit of synergy with Medusa. We just have to see what order the team's going to come out in. But I'm really excited. This team looks really good, not just in Alliance War, based on how these kits are kind of limited on what is given for like Alliance War. Like Corey had about 3 of the abilities that had war baked into it. So I could see this team being one of the 3 teams that we use to try to take out Null and Battle World. But I'm curious what you guys think. Let me know in the comments below. Go over to Benny Westside's channel. Again, that's going to be in the description below. So check that out and try to get the full gambit of what the picture looks like for the absolute A-Force team. Now, if you did enjoy this video, please remember to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Until next time, have a wonderful rest of the day.